and welcome to This Week in Toku. I'm the Vacuuminator.
I thought you did the intro wrong, but I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing our first real look at Shin Kamen Rider, the Season 1 finale of Dino Fury, and a good idea of what Toei thinks of us. But before all that, Buster, how you doing?
I am very stressed at the moment, but for good reasons, ? So tomorrow, today, by the time this comes out, will be the time when the final DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate reveals. The listeners will know who it is by the time this is out, but needless to say, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of retrospection, a lot of emotions, both good and bad, you know. And also Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl comes out tomorrow, which that looks nuts. So it's a bunch of fighting games, and you don't even like regular video games, so I don't think fighting games would be up your alley.
I'm sorry, is this some sort of gamer problem I'm too sane to understand?
Yes.
Okay, well then.
How have you been doing on the non-gamer?
I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm angry.
Sorry for adding you a bunch of times.
I'm possibly stealing Billiam's IP. You know, that kind of shit.
Billiam's IP?
Yeah, that's what he says at the end of all his videos. I'm tired. I'm stressed.
It's
a joke. It's one of those. It's one of those things where I make a comedy out of my own pain.
Yeah. Oh God, you're Doug Walker.
In many ways, I think we all have a little bit of Doug Walker inside of us.
Yeah, he's the Joker of internet reviewers. I'm just picturing somebody in a crowd holding up a sign that says, "We are all AC/DC cosplayers." Should we just get into the news or plug in?
Yeah. Before we get into the news, this podcast is, of course, a production of Modular Media, the creative co-op the two of us are a part of. If you want to help it out in the almighty internet algorithms, if you're listening on YouTube, please give us a like, comment on the video, subscribe, and ring-a-ding-ding that bell in order to enable notifications and get every Modular Media podcast as they are uploaded, such as this one, the No Prize podcast, where myself, Boingo Ryder, and sometimes Buster discuss the MCU and general comics adjacent topics, Modular Media Wrestling Podcast, or MMWP, where we discuss the obvious topic, and Components, where we shoot the shit for an hour or two every weekend. But do help us out on podcasting platforms as well by giving us a follow, and if you want to keep up with news and stuff regarding new releases from all of us, because I try to retweet as much as I can, follow us on Twitter at the Modular Media and r/Modular Media for Reddits. Jesus, I'm out of sorts tonight. Fucking news, right, bro?
Yeah, should I take? If you're tired, should I just read off the news?
Yeah. Why don't you have the wheel tonight, sport?
Yeah. So even more of MMPR Season 2 has dropped on YouTube. I guess every Friday they're just gonna keep dropping 13 episode batches of whatever's the next season. And currently it's MMPR Season 2. But this goes
pretty sound strategy, I'd say.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would alternate, or at least give us extra seasons, because we're gonna be in Zordon era for a while, and I kind of want to get to RPM. This is so stupid. It's not that I even have to pirate the show, it's that we had access to it, but then it was taken away, so now I have to pirate it. I know we'll get back eventually, but it's just annoying. Anyway.
I could get upset about that, but that's just kind of the age we live in. The streaming wars has created this weird dissonance of it's made trying to watch any content harder, because you have to figure out where something is, as opposed to just it being there, which it was for a couple of years.
Yeah. Anyway, this goes from the power transfer to Rangers Back in Time. So these are the first few episodes with Rocky, Adam, and Aisha as the red, black, and yellow Rangers.
Mm-hmm. So, also the last gasps of Zed as the big bad before Rita comes back. I believe that'll be in the next batch.
Yeah. I might already be in this batch.
I'm trying to remember if any of these episodes are real big standouts. I'm scrolling through them here. Goldor's Vice Versa is notable in that it's the last TV show appearance of Scorpina.
Interesting. But it's not the only time she appeared in season 2.
Yeah, they brought her back for one episode.
Just be like, okay, you get one? You know what, this is stupid, let's just not do this anymore. And then the comics and video games proceeded to just shove her in our face, because isn't that a cool thing to do?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I've already had my rant on Power Rangers comics on Twitter. Speaking of Power Rangers, we have our first look at the Lightning Collection in Space ZyuRanger. Did this get leaked?
Yeah, this is a full-on leak from, I believe,
I'm talking about like a listing.
Oh yeah, this was leaked months and months ago, but we had no idea where exactly it was going to pop up because it was like a weird item number. So we didn't know if it was going to be part of a wave or an exclusive or something like that. And now some foreign collectors have gotten a hold of it through the various factory sources, and people have been able to run the code that's on the box through several systems, and it's all but confirmed at this point that he is this year's Walgreens exclusive.
Interesting. Although I find his face, his head, the human head, the funniest of all of them. I don't know, there's something about it just cracks me up.
I mean, like, people were saying, oh, it looks like Jay Leno, but I'm like, I think that's just the blurry photos, and also Justin Nimue just has a weird face, guys. Like, have you noticed?
Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm. No, it looks really solid. I'm not a super big fan of the way they chose to do the silver color on it, because it's not so much a silver paint as it is the silver marbleized plastic that they tend to use on Marvel Legends, which, I don't know, it doesn't work too good, but it's pretty close to the colors from the actual suit. So it's one of those, it's just my aesthetics getting in the way of liking it. But I do think that they went the extra mile to give him both versions of the Silverizer.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah,
anyway,
Zane's I don't think Zane's anyone's favorite character, so...
he's pretty cool. I think I need to give a rewatch to In Space, because he could end up being in my top 3 with a rewatch, so...
Mm-hmm. I definitely ship him and Karone. They were really cute in that one episode.
Yeah. Okay, no, Mezco Con happened. Just abrupt segue, sorry about that. Yeah. And we got a look at 5 MMPR figures.
Yeah, this is gonna be a box set. They're selling all 5 in the same box.
Okay, is this a digital render, or are these actual
These are, as far as I know, these are actual photos that have been heavily photoshopped.
Okay.
Because this is just an initial reveal. This isn't the full solicitation.
Okay. Because it looks like cosplay rather than the actual suits, if that makes sense. I don't know.
That's kind of the intention, because this is part of their 1/12 collective line, which is basically stuff that is the size of things like Lightning Collection and Marvel Legends, but it's using actual cloth suits wherever possible to get it as close to a realistic look. Like, you can also see in the article we have linked here, they revealed a 1/12 collective Doctor Doom, which looks really good in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the 1/12 collective aesthetic, it's one of those things where sometimes it misses, but when it hits, it really hits more often than it misses. I'd say it's a slight miss here, where there's just this kind of dissonance of oh, you shrink those suits down you shrink the cloth suits down to toy size, and it doesn't look quite as good. Especially because I believe we also have 12-inch figures of this now. That came out a while back. I forget who made them, but those looked really good. And it's just a difference in size and materials being compressed more that makes these look slightly off.
Yeah, maybe the full solicitation will look better.
Yeah, and they'll probably have time to tweak it in between then, too, because, this got a really underwhelming reaction on the TL, I noticed. I made a joke retweeting it. I was like, I can't wait to see people flipping out over, oh god, more MMPR toys, and no one said anything. It was just a couple oh, hey, there's that.
Well, I mean, I think we've kind of got, my thing with, MMPR legacy merch is that I just... these are the I think we've acknowledged, these are the expensive ones. Of course they're going to do MMPR. So that's all I got. So, and just, again, these are the full solicitation. So,
well, speaking of MMPR,
different versions of those suits, particularly from Japan, A Shodo Super of the entire ZyuRanger team is coming out, and it's gonna have like combinable weapons and Brai, and you can put the shield on other characters. It looks pretty cool.
What's the fucking scale on these again? Are these like 3 3/4 inch or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I've never actually held a Shodo, and I always look at them and I'm like, they look like even worse Figuarts to me.
Honestly, like if they look for me that this is like the toy I want, where it's like, yeah, it's not the most expensive thing ever, but I can play around with it. It has nice accessories. The paint is fine.
That's fair. It's just, I guess it's just my snobbiness when it comes to
Yeah.
toys, looking at the gappy joints and being like, that's not very good. That's not very accurate. I wouldn't
Well, you
want to
do
play
figure
with this."
photography, so that kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
Speaking of SH Figuarts in a way, we're getting a Shinkocchou Seihou Kamen Rider 1, and it has a release date of October 23rd, 2021.
Yeah, this is the anniversary edition of the figure we've already had for a couple years now, I believe. It's going to have slightly different colors, and it will come with a 50th anniversary logo stand. So if you've missed out on previous releases of this particular figure art, this should be a good way to finally go out and get it. And I am slightly tempted, but I've been trying to pump the brakes on collecting the last couple months, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all we got. Also, this figure made a surprise appearance in last week's Revice episodes. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of surprises, in a way, Kamen Rider 01 Deluxe Progrise Key Set 3 with a bunch
you
of...
skipped over Shadow Moon's getting a Shinchoku Seihou.
Oh. Well, what? Oh, I did not notice that, and yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you got to say?
I mean, like, it's just like I wanted to make sure we mentioned that because that's something that a lot of Figuarts collectors had been clamoring for a while since we got the second Shinshoku Seihou Black.
Yeah, October 30th, 2021, it comes out for 8,250 yen. You can do the conversion yourself.
Yes.
Back to 01. DX Progress Key Set 03. These are basically the Hyper Battle forms and some others, just side stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that they're making these all this time after 01.
I'm not sure if 01 was profitable or if they're just like we've had the molds for these. Let's just put them out there. Or if they're trying to like capitalize on Vulcan and Valkyrie hype? Question mark. I don't know.
Who knows? Because these are like side grades for Revice himself.
You know what I mean? 01.
That's God. I'm tired.
Yeah. Speaking of tired, and what you're tired, you're usually on your phone, and they have an And speaking of phones, Kamen 01 Henshin Action Case iPhone case revealed. It's basically a 01, it's a 01 belt, but you can put it on your phone, and it looks cool.
Yeah, it's an entire 01 belt for a phone case, and it looks like it's going off of... Remember a few weeks ago when we talked about that line of, like, cards you could buy and do a transformation app?
It comes with a card. Yeah, it comes with a sound card.
It's doing that thing, and honestly, I think it's super cool. Like, I would not walk around with this just because it would make my phone super bulky, but it seems like a fun gadget to put out there for the kiddos.
Yeah.
Or like the teenos. The hip slamming teens that love 01 and didn't get the driver.
Yeah,
but wanted
or just want just aesthetic phone.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of aesthetics, this is more of a me thing anyway. Kamen Rider Saber have its V-Cinext forms revealed. We got Kento's new form, Kamen Rider Espada, what's it called? Arabian Night, and I like the full look of this form. I like the black, the yellow and the black and gold. That's really good. A form I'm not as hot on is a Kamen Rider Falchion upgrade, where it looks dumb. That's all I gotta say. It just looks
like an eel. It looks like a slimy eel man. Make him go away.
Yeah, it's not even that, like, I don't even mind it being, like, menacing and evil, because this is an evil rider, and it is cool that a movie rider got an upgrade, but, it doesn't look the greatest. It doesn't really do what an upgrade should do. This just feels like a kit bash that they just decided, let's make it feel bad, and that's pretty base.
Who's Toma?
The protagonist.
Oh. Who'd he fuck?
Yeah. He didn't fuck anyone.
How do you have a kid then?
He adopted one. I said
That's
single
not real.
dad.
You just said dad. I just heard dad.
I said single dad. Whatever.
Fucking instant replay that shit, someone. Comment and let us know.
Yeah. Speaking of a blast from the past, Shin Kamen Rider has some stuff.
We got
reveals of the actors and their suits, and a teaser trailer that recreates the first opening of Kamen Rider, and it looks beautiful.
It's fucking immaculate, honestly. I love that Ano is totally zigging where we expect him to zag. In that, like, this project got announced, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get the fucked up weird body horror Kamen Rider Ishinomori always wanted to do but could never fully realize. And it's like, nah, it's just the same suit but with some new added details. And like this chick's just wearing clothes that are right out of the 60s, but also kind of look timeless. Yeah, and here's just the original intro in HD, and I'm like, I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, like, I kind of expected, not the recreation, that's something I didn't expect, and it's very much welcome, but I kind of expected this movie to just be a love letter to Kamen Rider, because, like, Ano's a big Rider fan, and, like, I know a lot of people were saying when this movie got announced, it's like, oh, it's gonna be so deconstructive, like people are also saying that about Shin Ultraman. But I'm like, from this and the Shin Ultraman teasers, at least, who knows, the full movies aren't out yet, so who knows. But it just seems like a love letter. Like, yeah, I got the hand of this property I've loved and been inspired by all my life. Let me just go ham and pay tribute to its stuff. And just, yeah. Also, the little shots of the Spider-Man and the ending is just so, it's so aesthetic.
It really seems like they're sticking to the story of those initial episodes, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But the cast is Sosuke
Ikimatsu
as Kamen Rider 1 Takeshi Hongo, and Rukia
Mikara will be played by Minami Hamabe. Who are both industry veterans. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Really cool. It seems like everybody is taking this project super seriously and not just shitting out a weird reimagining like they were with the first.
Yeah, because this feels like like the first and Shin is like two different decades in Hollywood, like kind of filmmaking. In my opinion, like even outside of Japanese filmmaking, because the first kind of came out at a time when everyone was trying to be realistic. They're trying to take these like children's properties or properties that like had darker elements and just going full grimdark with them.
And there is stuff in the first I like that motorcycle fight is amazing.
Yeah.
But a lot of the rest of the first as well as the next is just pure schlock.
Yeah. And now we're kind of getting at a point where fans are getting a hold of these properties, and some have been misses, but most of them have been loving tributes and stuff. So it's very interesting to look at this like as a timeline of how like creativity in like the movie industry has been. Again, like I could be completely off because the Japanese and American industries are completely different, but and onto something slightly different. Kamen Rider Black Sun has gotten its staff revealed, and the staff, I'll say them, we got...
It's a bunch of people we've never heard of, but have a cool pedigree.
Except for the special effects director, who also did Ultraman Z. And
oh yeah, that's right, you were telling me about that last night.
Yeah, and Z, in my opinion, has some of the best special effects work in modern Toku. We're in good hands of this. But also, the scriptwriter is Izumi Takahashi, visual concept designer Shinji Higuchi, who also did Z, special effects director Kyoto Takashi Taguchi, and also they seem very excited to work on it.
Just going by the little bit of imagery we've gotten for Black Sun so far, I wouldn't be surprised if, because we were talking about how Shin Kamen Rider looks relatively normal compared to the other Shin projects. I think this might be the one where they go fucked up and kind of weird looking. Just like with that silhouetted grasshopper image that's on this article.
Yeah.
And there's a snake in the L of black. I just noticed that.
Ooh. Yeah, I think I think this is gonna be more Amazons-esque, preferably like the better half of Amazons. I haven't
Mhm.
actually seen season 2, so I can't speak on that. I've heard mixed things.
Season
But
2 is mixed things, but the movie was a solid ending, is my opinion.
okay. Yeah, I know most people like the movie. And then we got some Ultraman Trigger news. I kind of don't want to talk about this because this is spoilers for future episodes of Trigger,
But
so...
this was like officially announced, and you were bitching about it off mic the other day.
Okay, fine. Trigger got a new suit. It's gonna be his like final form, Glitter Trigger Eternity. I hate this suit. Okay, not as much as I did when I saw it, but I don't like it. And the sword is cool. I like the sword.
I like everything about it except the helmet. I think the helmet looks dumb. It looks like he got sand all over his face.
I can kind of see it.
But the rest of the color scheme works for me.
Yeah, but on more exciting and cool things, Ultraman Reboot from the Malaysia Ultra series and other like an Ultra Galaxy fight will be appearing in Trigger.
Yeah, is this the first time he's had a human host?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's pretty based. I need to catch up on Trigger. I'm slowly doing so. So yeah. And yeah, that's all we got for news. And speaking of Trigger, do you want to talk about? I'll just introduce the episode. You can talk about it.
Yeah.
Ultraman Trigger, New Generation Tiga, Episode 11, The Encounter of Light and Darkness. What did you think?
This episode was pretty fucking cool, honestly,
I've
because
seen some clips and it's starting to get pretty good.
yeah, it feels like Trigger has really hit its stride in the last 3 episodes, with this one starting off with a big old Monster Mash attack bash, and Trigger like barely holding his own against the Giants of Darkness, and like being worried about okay, big reveal from the end of the last episode. They uncovered more of the stone tablet and learned in ancient times Trigger was also one of the Giants of Darkness, so that's causing Kengo to have all kind of like hesitation and shit. And then he just gets fucking pulled into a time hole, and Trigger falls over unconscious in the middle of the city, and he spends the rest of the episode in the past talking with Yuzure and learning shit about ancient times and trying to tame past Trigger and get Trigger's evil dark form that he was way back when to understand what it means to be a good boy. And we actually get a really good version of the smile line where he gets to do the full thing for Yuzure. And it's really good character building episode for Kengo, I thought, and I like how it feels a lot more like the rest of the cast is involved, but this is still very much Kengo's story, because in the present they're all going like, what the fuck just happened? Trigger lost, what do we do now? And they're trying to figure shit out, and eventually Trigger wakes up and takes on his dark form again, and they're like, what the fuck, how do we deal with this? And that's kind of where we're left off, where the end of this episode, Kengo's hitting back to the present, and he's gonna have to try and fix things.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
So I'm really enjoying
a good
it.
episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing where the series goes. Obviously, the next couple episodes are gonna be. I think this is very much an arc heading towards introducing Glitter Trigger Eternity Sandman.
Yeah. And then, well, we got a beginning of something, but now it's time for the end. Kamen Rider 01, Others, Vulcan and Valkyrie, the V-Cinext that recently got subtitled. Should I start or you?
What the fuck?
Yeah. I'll let you start. Go off.
So, like, I don't even know where to begin with this movie, because this is, like, just such a bleak fucking ending for all these characters, and there's some legit interesting stuff they try to do here that I'm like, given a little more time or a more positive outcome, I would have really liked this. But because of the way this movie ends, which, spoilers, fucking Yua loses her driver, Fua fucking dies, and Metsubo Jinrai is essentially off the table, and Aruto's still off in space somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing here, buddy? Are you gonna? Are we getting an announcement of another V-Cinext soon? Please, God, don't let this be where we leave these characters.
or like at least a Toei Tokusatsu World special.
Mhm.
But yeah, let's break down some specifics about why this movie didn't really work and what kind of worked. Let's get the elephant out of the room. So I've kind of been like infamous for disliking Yua. I
Mhm.
still like. It's not that I hate her. It's just more she doesn't really get much interesting stuff to do. Unfortunately, this movie is not as interesting. Like she still doesn't get interesting stuff to do. And
She is a frustrating character in that there's a lot of good things they have started to do with her over and over again, and then because of other things in the show, she ends up getting shoved to the side or literally thrown under the bus as she is in this movie.
Yeah, because this is like this is probably the worst part of the movie, like at its lowest point. So Yua gets her like super souped up Valkyrie upgrade. Then it's like it's not effective. It's
She
literally
just
like
gets stomped on.
she doesn't even
In
get
wrestling
a moment
terms,
to be
it's a
cool.
fucking squash match.
Like she doesn't even get like a cool finisher with it. It's just no Metsubo Jinrai is like souped up, powerful, and it's like it's frustrating. It's like I don't even like hate you on anymore. I just like this character needs to be treated better. Just give her something else besides being stomped on.
And
Jesus.
the souls are like literally the exact same thing. Where I really enjoyed the two of them going their separate ways and having the scenes where they're like both kind of talking about the same thing to Fua and Yua at different locations. I really liked that scene, and it felt like they were gonna go somewhere with those characters, like they had some kind of plan for them, and then they just get killed off unceremoniously.
Yeah. Okay, no, my favorite part of the movie has to be Fua. Okay, like he might have died in like a
But he
pretty
went out like he got a fucking Spike Spiegel death, dude.
yeah, but like the character stuff they do with him is actually really good. I really like him interacting with Aruto again, like in space, being like, "Well, we gotta make your own. You gotta make your own company, like to fight this." And he used the 01 driver. That's such a cool idea. I kind of wish that happened in the show, where when Aruto went Arc 1 berserk, and then Fuwa had to use the 01 driver. That would have been a cool twist for the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's still here in this movie. Well, and his henshin, his suit is super cool, but the fight is like unmemorable as hell. It's just over like in an instant.
I enjoyed what little we got of it. I don't think the fight was bad. It was maybe a little short, but
short. I think is the better word for it. Too short.
Especially because they give him such like a fucking badass line to start it too.
Yeah, and like he gets to like gets to break open the progress key like he usually does it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, the face he made! I fucking screen capped it. It was so good.
Yeah, his actor's super cool. But man, this is like I really hope this isn't canon or this never gets brought up again and we can pretend he's because I love the Mezco One.
They just ignored us like the Ghost vs. Drive movie.
The Ghost vs. Drive movie is kind of canon because didn't like Shinosuke and Kiriko get married?
That is in that movie, yeah, but literally a year after it came out, Toei in a statement said that movie is not canon.
What happened in it?
Just a bunch of weird time travel shenanigans is the simplest way I can describe it.
So Zio's canon, but I don't get him. Whatever. To my Kamen rules, everything is canon, but not canon. Anyway, but even so, like canon aside, this is just a weird and not okay. I don't know. The Fua stuff kind of makes it worth sitting, but not really. Not really. I don't know. This is like a below average content and stuff.
Like I liked so much of it, but the parts I didn't like were such a huge fucking black mark.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the few times where it's like, yo, if somebody wants to start up a fucking petition to get a sequel to this made so we can get some goddamn resolution, I'm not gonna say you're being an idiot fan.
Yeah, unless you're being like an idiot acting, but that's a whole other story.
I don't even know what you're talking about there.
Like you're acting like an idiot while trying to do something good. I don't know. How do I explain this? It's like you are acting horrible, but just for like no reason when it's like simple things. I don't know.
What kind of situation are you even thinking of with that? I'm saying somebody asking for a sequel.
Oh, well, like, I thought you said petition, and my mind immediately turned to all those release the X cuts, so.
the chase down. I just remembered this. Oh god, I'm getting so many memories. Fucking change.org remake Super Mega Force.
But they don't really do anything. I feel like a Toei Tokusatsu fan club special could do like some good stuff, but I don't think we're getting that. You know, maybe we'll get it soon if Yu Takahashi decides to like stop like actually write good things again. No, he did High School Heroes. He's done good things. Yeah. He has such a weird track record as a writer, but I
Did he
also
write
like
this?
that. Yeah, he wrote both V-Cinext. Like he has
What
such a
the
weird
fuck, dude?
because to me, I like that he has a weird track record because then I can just like because some people will be like, oh, when Shirokura is involved, everything will be trash, and then I can or just anything like just. I feel like there's certain sects of the Toku fandom who are just like, oh, if this writer is involved, then it's gonna be automatic trash or automatic good when that's not really the case. And
Well, that's any fandom because fans are fucking idiots and they don't understand that people aren't inherent markers of quality.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Vulcan and Valkyrie. Wasn't very good. There were some fine elements. Just watch the best bits on YouTube or whatever. If there are even best bits.
Jesus Christ, Buster.
What?
There's good bits in this movie. Like, it's a mixed bag is what it is.
Kinda. I don't know. I'm having a hard time remembering them. Speaking of memories, Dino Fury last 3 episodes. Let's go! Dino Fury episode 20, Waking Nightmares. Now, I kind of went ahead and I already reviewed the entire season of Dino Fury, so I'm gonna let Vac take it for most of these 3. So what did you think?
It was good. I liked it.
For episode 20?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't like it. I thought it was one of the weaker episodes.
What the fuck? What is all this negativity I'm feeling from you tonight?
I'm sorry. But, okay, so the script and ideas are good, but the direction and acting is awful. I'm sorry.
How so?
The guest actors they got for Zeto's old buds just fell off.
And they've been using them for episodes now. Those are the same fucking voices from the premiere.
Okay, did they even speak in the premiere?
Once or twice. Oh. At the very least, we heard them in fucking Ion's flashbacks a couple episodes ago.
So maybe, but the direction, it didn't feel as dramatic. Something about it, just the direction or the composition of the shots, it just felt like every other episode when this should just be a big moment for Zeto, and it didn't really feel like one. If that makes sense.
I feel like that's more just a symptom of Power Rangers in general, though, is the fucking...
no, because we've had those... I felt a dramatic weight, especially in the next episode we talk about. I felt that before. So why am I not feeling it now? In this show specifically?
Dude, this sounds like more of a fucking personal problem, honestly, because I didn't have any problem with the way they played this. It felt like they did exactly what they wanted to do.
I feel like every problem is a personal problem when it comes to television. But
yeah, you're a personal problem. I'm a personal problem.
Yeah.
The listeners are a personal problem.
But the new Zords were pretty cool. And,
Yeah, I love the fucking... What was it? The Shadow Rex Megazord or what did they call it? Something like that?
Yeah, the Light and Shadow dinos. They were pretty cool.
Also, I noticed in this episode, Void Knight is wearing eyeliner.
I mean, he's always been wearing eyeliner since he got his helmet off.
I didn't notice it till now, and I found it a little funny.
Yeah. Well, I just love that even more, because now he's like, oh, sweet little edgelord.
He just wants his fucking body pillow to come to life.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Void Knight, episode 21 of Dino Fury, Void Trap. I'm gonna be more positive now, because I freaking love this finale.
Yeah, this is good. I like it.
Yeah. Now, I know some people are complaining, wait, what the hell was the moral of the episode? And I'm like, this is the finale of a season. I don't think I feel like Beast Morphers and Ninja Steel finales have had morals shoved in.
The moral is we beat the baddie and Ollie's mom found out he was a ranger. Shut up.
I feel like, I don't know why people are complaining about the lack of morals when, people really hate morals of the week in Power Rangers nowadays. I don't know, what...
You just can't please anybody, but, I gotta say it. I'm sorry, lads, but I have to put down my sanction here.
Don't degenerate.
Dr. Arcana is best mom.
Okay, that's not as degenerate as I thought you were gonna. But yeah, she's pretty cool. I really I really like how like immediately when she gets kidnapped, Ollie's just like, dude, what the hell? And Zato's just like, I'm on it. Like that was a great moment, and also like the moments when like Voidnet was like, see you soon. I felt
It's
that.
also like just such great classic Lancer leader interplay of you're too close to this, you need to calm down and focus on this other thing while I take care of the problem.
Yeah. Also, like Zato's just super cool to like Sliver and Mucus just be like, yes, bye. Like when they're in the portal. That was great.
Also, we get the return of password Zato is cool in this episode.
Yeah, well, they said Zato was cool, which I'm like, did Aeon do that?
He would. He fucking would, honestly. But no, I really enjoyed this episode. It was a good wrap.
Really like the Unmore fight. That was pretty sick. And like Void Knight, he was super cool in that episode. Like just like his dramatic moments and like it just felt it cemented him as one of my favorite modern Power Rangers villains. Like just so good. He's a very versatile character because he can do comedy moments with like interacting with the goofy monsters, but he's he has an emotional core to him, and I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten a well balanced villain like that.
Over under. You think he's dead?
No.
Okay.
If he is dead, I'm gonna be pissed because we still were owed a couple explanations like where did he get his suit? Who is he? Like,
I mean, on the bright side, I didn't fucking call Zed coming back with the Dark Rangers. That shit didn't happen.
Well, actually, no. Look, the Dark Ranger part I want to happen. Like, don't even have Zed with them. Just have them just come back.
The Dark Rangers. Just those fuckers somehow got the powers again on their own.
Yeah, or just like it's a new team. Anyway, that is besides the point. Yeah, but yeah, pretty cool finale. Morphin Masters are pricks. Just like
yeah. Nope, sorry, you can't fucking be done. You're fucking Power Ranger forever because we need you.
That's not even why I was pricking-ish. Like Zato was asking questions, and it was like, wait, what? And Green Morphin Master was like, no.
I mean, that is pretty consistent with their characterization in the comics, at least.
Yeah. Wasn't that the emissaries in the comic? But yeah, pretty decent finale. Really like when the final shot was pretty cool. Can't wait for hopefully season 2 doesn't shit the bed.
Are you ever not gonna be on edge with this show?
No! I mean, like, okay, at least I can say season 1 was a solid 8 out of 10, but, like, until, like, I
feel like the show will be over this time next year, and you'll be going, oh god, I hope they don't fuck up the team-up episode. You okay?
Yeah.
Did I go too far? You alright, buddy?
I'm laughing, I'm having fun. Well, it's October, but frick you, we're gonna do Christmas. Dino Fury episode 22, Secret Santa. What did you think?
So this is the one where I'm a little negative.
Okay, go ahead.
This felt like a fucking samurai episode, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't racist. So that's,
I don't know. I mean, like, just the way they did the clip show aspect kind of reminded me of Stuck on Christmas, and so some of the character interaction felt a little blander than I'm used to with Dino Fury. And also total ass pulls. Sliver and Slime Boy are just back because shut up.
And they did that with Beast Morphers too, so...
yeah, they did. What the fuck?
Yeah, I guess it's just gonna be a Hasbro era tradition. Just like villains that have like in the finale, a villain will have like a weird fate, but then Christmas special will be like, haha, I came back because
I wasn't officially dead. You didn't see a body.
Yeah, like that. This episode was cute. It wasn't really like peak Dino Fury, but it was fine.
Yeah. If anything, it gave us double Sliver action, which I was a big fan of.
Yeah, same, especially as a big Sliver fan.
Just say it. Come on, say it.
I can't.
No, you have to. We're not moving on until you say it. Come on.
I want to kiss Sliver.
Sliver Simp. Sliver Simp. Sliver Simp.
Yeah. So this is technically like the first show we finished since like an ongoing show. Like this show's been here since the start of TWIT. I mean, it's not going to be like gone because we have season 2, but like
I mean, technically, but I wouldn't call it until season 2, so.
Yeah. Should we do like a season wrap-up review?
It's good. I liked it.
Yeah.
8 out of 10.
Same. I did a full review on the Buster Corp channel if you want to hear more details and concerns and me more on edge with the show. Anyway. So, and then the final episode we got, because Zenkaiger wasn't subbed, Kikai's Kamen Rider Revice, Episode 5, World-Changing Rider, Who the Hell is the Traitor? Go ahead, Vac.
I really enjoyed this episode. Wait, did you not watch it? Is that why you said go ahead, Vac?
No, I said go ahead because people are, like, interrupting.
Oh, wow. No, I really like this episode. I feel like Revice has really found its footing in the last couple of weeks, same as Trigger. And like we're just off to the races now. We're doing interesting stuff. We're hinting at future plot developments, and we're bringing in new characters because if you hadn't heard yet, this episode is the debut of Kamen Rider Evil.
Yeah, the Mermaid Man says.
Yeah. Exactly, that was the reference. Thank you for noticing.
I know. You have good taste. But I really like this episode, and I feel like now I'm starting to feel like very good on Revice. I finally realized, okay, Vice is a problem, but everything else is very good. Like,
here's something that's kind of been bothering my butt this week. You're so fucking into the Venom movies, and yet you don't like Revice. When Iki and Vice's relationship is literally just the same thing as Eddie and Venom.
I know, but like Venom is funny.
I feel like it's the same kind of jokes, though.
I don't know. Maybe I was kind of warming up to Vice this episode. Still, screw Subaru. So maybe I just need to rewatch those episodes. So
I mean, like if it's just that you don't like the actor,
it's not
I
even
understand.
I don't even like the actor. I just I find the jokes just not like hidden. Maybe I want to rewatch the last few episodes when I have some time so I can, like properly cement my like opinion on Vice because I love everything else.
I feel like with Vice the chuckle per episode ratio has gone up dramatically since the first episode where like I had 1 in episode 1. Now I'm getting like 2 or 3 per episode.
Yeah. He's definitely getting like more like they're restraining him. He's getting more like cute moments, for lack of a better word.
Also, just more hinting that George is going to be a big fucking problem later.
Yo, yeah, because he says, the way I'm going to snap his neck. Oh, he's precious.
And then he tries to sneak up on Daiji like he's going to snap his neck, and Daiji fucking pulls a gun on him.
Yeah, that was great. But the plot of the week was super good. It reminded me of my favorite Kamen Rider O's episode where
they just brought in Japanese Logan Paul.
Not even but like they made him actually like they made him like do some like made him like there
was an arc.
There was an arc. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know.
Bit of redemption. But I found it funny. Like that's why I said an idea of what Toei thinks of guys like us during the intro. Because I can really see this being
a Valkyrie movie.
This is fucking old man John Toei going like them damn YouTubers. They have no respect for shit and stuff and fuck them. They need to stop being YouTubers because they're just causing disturbances.
Like I don't think that was the thing. Like.
But like fucking Phoenix makes this guy end his career with an apology video, and I'm like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, but like, I think that was more. I think that was more of bait to lend him out, to lend out the whatever. But yeah, to me the map moral was like more in line of like because he's trying to do this for quote unquote justice and and that's what reminded me of my favorite Kamen Rider Heroes episode because that also dealt with how far does one go, like how does one sacrifice their own morals for justice, and like it wasn't as in depth as that O's episode, but I like the way they played and twist with that like idea here. Like, and I just love when franchises do that, and there are just some really good shots in this episode, not just of Evil, but just in the first fight. Like, some very
fucking Reeve in the window.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Like, there's a reason you've been seeing that all over your timeline if you follow Kamen Rider accounts.
Or like, I loved the Kuga transformation and the fact that they do fucking cat poses after the initial pose.
not even just that, but it's like watch my roar. I love those little like.
That was such a good way at evoking Kuga without going for the obvious shit. Because nobody talks about watch my Hengo without going for the obvious shit. Because nobody talks about watch my Henshin unless they're in the process of watching Kuga.
Yeah. Revice is starting to get solid. And now I feel like now we've got a good vibe on Revy advice, so now we can let's start introducing new people as opposed to 01 or Saber where they kind of just first episode start introducing everything.
Yeah, and credit where it's due. That was a pretty dramatic debut for Evil.
Yes. Although I kind of hope he stays an evil writer, just so we don't have a weird this is Kamen Rider evil, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's still a cool suit. I think it's on the Kabuto V stamp. I hope it is because I not Kabuto, Blade V stamp because I love Blade. So
I think my favorite thing about his debut is just that they went out of their way to show you no, he's not any of the others we know because he beat them all into unconsciousness.
Yeah, that's great. Apparently from the pachinko not pachinko, the Gamberizing game, he apparently stabs himself to Henshin.
Nice.
Yeah. Revice is starting to get solid. I'm feeling more positive on it.
Definitely. Revice is it's coming up in the world, so let's get this party started.
Yeah. Should we talk about the old stuff? Should we talk about the toys or the show first?
Okay.
So the show?
Go for it, because you've been watching the Cursed Rider show.
There's multiple Cursed Rider shows, but yeah, not the Cursed. But I have been because I've been rewatching a bunch of Kamen Rider series to write reviews on them. I've been watching Kamen Rider Gaim, and I got through the first 12 episodes, and it's mostly good. Okay, so I love Kota. He's a great protagonist so far. Kaito's also really cool. Michi is actually reasonable in these first few episodes. He actually has some really good motivation, but you can still see his descent into madness later. If only you can see hints of that. My problem.
I've always maintained Gaim is great until the late 30s.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm kind of on the good part. But even then, I have a problem, and that comes in who is probably the worst writer girl sidekick I have seen recently.
I mean, she's not. She was never great. She's literally just she's a fucking object.
Yeah,
there's no other way to put it. She is an object that the boys are fighting over.
So a plot device.
Yeah.
But that's bad enough. But then when you get to her personality, and she's just kind of a prick, even though Kota really didn't earn a lashing out, he's just doing reasonable things. Mai's be like, "Oh, you gotta do things, Kota," and Kota be like, "What?" And it's just it's just.
I mean, that's kind of the arc of the show. Is he's trying to be mature and responsible because he has to be, and the whole rest of the cast is. They don't have to be, so they're going after him come on, dude, have fun and party, bro.
It wasn't even just that. It was Mai was saying you gotta be responsible in a way, but it's he already was, and...
Okay, maybe I don't remember that shit too well.
His sister just lashes out on him for, oh, you have battle money? That doesn't pay the bills. And it's are you... I don't know, just...
I think it was more that, with the sister at least, I think that scene is more about, you didn't earn that money in a traditional way, so it doesn't count.
Which is a kind of a weird moral, given that we're YouTubers, so...
But, again, it was a few years ago, and that's the way anyone of the older generation would react to that type of thing. Remember... What's the number one thing most actually profitable YouTubers say? My parents didn't take me seriously until I showed them my bank account.
Yeah, that. Even then, if we're going by that logic, his bank account. But I might be reading too much deep into it, but it just kind of feels like this is like the first 5 episodes. It starts to go down when we actually get into like some of the interesting plot developments and character progression.
Yeah,
And
you're
just
right before the shoe dropping.
Yeah, I know. Like before, as someone dies, to put it that way.
Yeah, that spoilers. They kill Kenny.
Yeah, or has like a name similar to Kenny, but like yeah, his writer name is. I don't know. Like there's, I feel like like those moments of like people lashing out on Kota. I feel like that would work better if Kota was shown a bit more irresponsible, but he really wasn't. I don't buy it, if that makes sense. Like his actions like seem somewhat responsible. So I'm like, why is I don't know. Again, those are just early episode stumblings. The show's getting very good, especially with the introduction of Takatora and like the rivalries like getting more intense and Baron being cool. So yeah, guy. I'll let you know. I'll probably finish the show by next recording. Maybe even have a script ready, but not to share yet because that's gonna be on my channel.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about your toys?
Yes, I've been going through my to open pile a lot recently, and I finally got to some stuff that's relevant to this show, mainly a whole bunch of Lightning collection. So I'll start off with the Soul Monsters wave now, because the fucking subline got canceled because it didn't sell very well. Pumpkin Rapper and King Sphinx, I don't know what the fuck everybody is smoking. These are great toys. I love... Like, the only problem I have with them is the fact that they didn't paint in the black on Pumpkin Rapper's mouth and eyes. But even then, it's like, hey, guess what, everybody? Sharpies are incredibly inexpensive. So I took care of that problem real quick. And other than that, the rest of the paint on the figures is great. The articulation is insanely good for a design that big and bulky. Especially when it comes to King Sphinx. And I love the effects parts, just random vines and shit coming with Pumpkin Rapper. Fucking make yourself a Tarzan custom or something. I dig it. I dig those figures a lot, and I'm kind of sad that it looks like right now we're only getting Eye Guy and Pudgy Pig, and that might be it for that subline, because it's such an interesting thing that appeals to people outside of Power Rangers, because that was the number one thing I saw when those got revealed, was people who normally don't care about Power Rangers going like, oh, those look really neat. And now that they've been on sale like crazy, a lot of like customizers and figure photographers who don't normally care about Power Rangers have been snatching them up like crazy. So
maybe like a lower price is needed in the future.
Yeah, entirely possible, because they were initially being sold for $30, and they were saying that because like, oh, they're bigger and it's all original parts, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense from a financial standpoint. But like a marketing standpoint, I definitely understand why other people had a hard time getting on board with it. And I get the scale issue that a lot of people had. Like, I can't agree with that. But even then, like, there's such a thing as forced perspective, people. Also opened In Space Red versus Astronema. And I'll also say In Space Black I opened this weekend. The In Space Rangers, it's a very, very solid mold. It's one they've got down pat. I dig it. There's just not much new to say. Civilian heads on both of them are pretty solid. Astronema, though, I feel like they kind of half-assed her. She just feels kind of wibbly, I think is the best way to describe it, because her head is very locked looking forward due to the hair sculpt. She's only got single-jointed elbows and knees. And the way they did her ankle joints is really weird, where there's like a pseudo boot cut, but it's so down low that it's like right up next to the actual ankle articulation. So it's really weird trying to get that stuff to work together. And also trying to get her to hold her staff in a convincing way is a bit of a pain in the ass. She doesn't pose very well. I hope they do some minor tweaks on the next release.
That's a shame because she's one of the more popular Power Rangers villains. So
like I said, they've got at least 2 or 3 more shots at her, so there's time to improve on the mold.
Yeah.
LG. I almost just said the acronym. Lost Galaxy Blue. I honestly don't know why I bought this. I think I was just excited about another Lost Galaxy Ranger getting made. I don't particularly care for Kai, but like it's a fairly competent figure. It's got all the same pros and cons as Leo had back when we got him in the Psycho Red 2-pack. Honestly, it's just kind of all right. The Tengas. I get why a lot of people are in love with these figures. They're just not hitting for me for whatever reason.
I see.
I mean, like, there's a cool thing where like they have different optional wings because I didn't even realize this, but they actually have bigger wings when they're shown flying in the show and the movie. But like it's cool that they included that, but as figures, it's just like yeah, these are solid. They look neat, but I don't feel the army building itch with them, which I was really hoping for. But it's whatever. I've got two, and that's enough for me with most army builders. So I'll leave it at that. And that's most of the Lightning Collection backlog I have. But I'll probably be talking about some more some. Just trying to think of a particular term. More next week. More next week, I'll say.
Yeah.
But that is all for this week. So, Buster, why don't you tell the good people who you are and where they can find your content?
I wonder if we could like edit around those like pauses in like the post recording. Anyway, heads up, I'm Buster Corp. I do videos on the internet. I recently released a bunch of videos. I released a video brainstorming what season 30 of Power Rangers could be. I released a Dino Fury season 1 analysis, and I released a Kamen Rider X8 analysis, which is why I'm rewatching Gaim, so I could do because the plan for this month is to do X8, Ghost, Drive, and Gaim. Maybe
real quick. X8 analysis, very solid. I did disagree on a few small points, but that's just gonna happen. What was the other one you did?
Dino Fury.
Oh yeah, Dino Fury, very solid. Season 30 pitch. I wouldn't have done that, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course you wouldn't have done. You're not me. Yeah,
you're not me.
Yeah,
that's the one Yu-Gi-Oh reference I know. All right, well, I am The Vacuuminator, and if you want to check out any of my content, you can go to youtube.com/TheVacuuminator, where my most recent video is a look back at the first episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So if you haven't checked that out already, definitely go do so, because as I confirmed on the No Prize podcast a couple nights ago, yeah, I'm gonna be making that into a series in the not too distant future, but more on that when I have it available, because I'm kind of working on tweaking things a little. In the meantime, you can keep up with me by following me on Twitter at the Vacuuminator, and yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this week in Tokusatsu. So I guess we'll see you next time when we find out what happens that week in Toku Satsu.